Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the farm, Ravenport. Forgot its name there. With Casbeard. We've seeded these two fields. Well, cultivated then seeded them. The one at the far side has been fertilised. I'm about to fertilise this one. So let's get that underway. And then we're going to do the same to the field on the other side of the farmhouse that you can see ahead of us. I've already removed a couple of trees over there to make a bit of space. We're going to extend the field before we plough it and do all the bits to it, and this field is going to be a little bit of a pain because of its positioning next to that shed. So I'm going to have to just take a strip off along the bottom here first, just to make it easier. Like that. Go back up here, and if you keep an eye on the mini map, you will see the colour of the field changing colour as we do the fertilising. As we move up the field, you'll see that that red and orange gets paler. Oh, what am I doing? Pick it up, you. And moves more towards a yellow. Now, that's kind of odd. And in fact, I'm going to have to do this field twice because I've just realised that the automatic application rate is not turned on. And we need that turned on in order for the precision farming to assist us in putting the correct level of fertilizer into the field for the crop that's in it. And at the moment we've got oat in this field. Let me just turn that on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a helper to redo the field. Hopefully we'll reach the edge of the field. There we do. Yeah, you can see this time now it's coming much more to a bright yellow, increasing the fertilizer in the field for the crop that's in there. Go on, take it right. Oh, you didn't take it right to the edge, did you? Oh, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I should have used a helper from the beginning with the automatic rate turned on. Where are you going? Seems a bit clueless, this lad. Why is he only doing it like that? Yeah, they've put me back in the tractor. They're really stuck. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. So we're going to have to do this ourselves. Apply the brakes before we hit the field. Get lined up properly. Go back down the same tracks that we went down before. See the bit that's already been sprayed, the sprayer turns off. I can demonstrate that a bit better. We come back across the bottom and put a headland strip across it because of where that shed is. See that when we cross the middle it stops spraying and starts again on the far side of that bit that's already done. There we go. That's the automatic sprayer kicking in, saving us a bit of money. reverse into the shed. Right. Now, in a little bit of a rush today because I want to start getting onto some contracts and making a bit of money while we wait for our crops to grow. So we'll get this field fertilized. And this field is oat, the other field is soybean. Oat needs more fertilizer than soybean, which is why the field has moved to more of a green colour after fertilizing, green and yellow. Soybean is is nitrogen neutral, so it doesn't really need anything on this field. But what I'll do is, now we've turned back on the automatic spraying rate, which I didn't notice was off when I did this field. Let's just run down it. Just make sure that it's not going to change it at all. No, it's not. It's treating the field as fully fertilized. I thought that would be the case. Yeah. So that one's gone more green and yellow. This one's remained orange. That's fine. And oops, turn the sprayer off. Spreader, not sprayer. We'll park up here ready for doing this field once it's been expanded and ploughed and then cultivated. Right. Or seeded, of course. Sure what we'll put in this field. Might put barley in it just to get some more straw. Get this parallel to the edge of the field. Give us a good start. Tap Y, allow to create fields, and lower it down. And off we go. One strip of 6 meters added to the field. Should be able to get another 2. See up there one of the trees that I cut down lying on the ground. The other one is at the far end of the field. It's just allowed me a bit of extra width here. Be able to get a few extra strips into the field. Just expand it so that I can get a little bit more crop out of it. Get the farm profitable as quickly as possible, which is what it's all about. Now, you might not have noticed it, but I have. There are a couple of spots on the left hand side of this strip as we've come along that field where it hasn't actually ploughed, which means what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go back along on the centre line between those two new strips and plough them in, otherwise we get bald spots in the field. We don't want those because it messes up the crop calculations. Go back along, rip it again, and just close off those little bits that didn't quite plough. They were very, very narrow, almost invisible, but enough that I would have seen them in the crop and they would have annoyed me. So best to get them ploughed right now. Get them out of the way. Instead of having to wait until after the first crop and then come back and do them again. Do them while they're fresh on my mind. And get one more strip across here, which will be perfectly adequate for what we're trying to do with this field. Because if we go any higher up the hill's going to be too steep and it could either tip the combine or the trailer. Right, now then, going to be an interesting one. I thought so. There's just a little bit put out, but what that does let me do is use the left hand end of the plough on that furrow line as my guiding line along here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop wobbling all over the place. Try and get a straight edge to the field as much as possible. Oh, that's pretty good. I can live with that. Right, so then go and give that plough a quick wash. Put it away. Pick up the cultivator. Don't need to wash the tractor because the tractor's going straight back in the field. And in fact, actually, whoa, hold on. We go to the map, we look at field 19 and look at the soil composition. Well, it's not saying it needs ploughing because it would show as red if it did. And ploughing is turned on. What are we? Periodic ploughing required is turned on. So okay, we don't need to plough the rest of the field. We get away with just cultivating the new bit, which is good. Saves us a little bit of time. It also means that when that field comes due for ploughing, it will do it on a different cycle to the two fields up here, which were fully ploughed before we planted them. Helps to spread the workload out a bit. Right, so if we go and put that back in the shed. So dotted around the place, we're starting to build up a decent stock of timber. It'll be worth hiring a truck shortly, taking it all down to the timber yard, selling it off. And I was looking at the prices of silage earlier. It'll be worth taking a trailer load of silage bales down and selling them off soon as well. Don't think we're going to actually need this tractor for anything that... Whoops. Stop. Pull back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park it over here out the way. Although, wait a minute, no, yep, we do. We need it. Need it for the cedar. Just parked up here at the moment. This is the heaviest tractor, and the weight of the cedar, rather than its horsepower requirement, means that it's a better idea to use the heavy tractor on that. Right, so this one's got the cultivator on. set a worker away on this one. Just to cultivate this one down. Won't take them long, only 2 or 3 runs, but I'll time lapse it anyway. Right, there we are. That's that done. Now, I'd forgotten we need to lime this field before we do anything else with it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this tractor around, washing that cultivator, and get that done and dropped off. And then we've got to switch out the fertilizer that's in the spreader for lime. It's a very quick job. Just give this cultivator a quick splash down. The tool's clean and they wear slower, which means that you spend less. Sorry, you spend more time between servicings, which saves you money. Right. There. Come in. Speaking of which, the tractor's starting to look like it needs a servicing. Now we can leave this tractor across here. There for now. Got to empty this one out so that we can put the fertilizer in, put the lime into it. So what I'll do is I'll put it here, open the cover and unload it. There we are. Lots of pallets. Go and fill it with lime. £575 to fill this one. Much cheaper to fill it with lime than it is to fill it with fertilizer. I think what I'm going to have to do is to do the two edges of the field and then come back up the centre. Oops, there's a tree there. That's hitting the edge of the field. Centre it here. Both sides, yep. So, spreading lime and solid fertilizer is a very quick job using one of these backpacks. It's only once you get into the huge fields and the backpacks have to be refilled half a dozen times, that's when it slows down. And that's really when you need a bigger lime spreader or fertilizer spreader. Although the backpacks can do it. Now what I'm going to do, we've got just over 1,000 litres of lime left in it, so I'm going to try and get it to drop the pallet between these two sheds. No, that'll do. Refill it from that next time. And in the meantime we'll refill it from these to put the fertilizer in, ready for the next step of the job. Do these one at a time. I'll have to trigger each one in turn. Of course that one's too far away. And there's more than enough in there. The fertilizer lasts a lot longer when you're spreading it than the lime does. Now we want to seed this field before we fertilize it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to park this tractor up here out the way. Swap into the other one. Oops, hit that a bit hard. and I refilled the seeder after doing the other 2 fields. Probably didn't need to in terms of seeding this field, but might as well keep it topped up. Right, now we don't want to put oat in again, so we've got soybean and oat up there. What else has got a good price at the moment? So we've got soybean and oat in at the moment. Canola's looking good. It's not too bad a price on canola, although it is falling at the moment. Sunflower would be the best choice, to be honest, even though the good prices on sunflower are dropping. But that would mean buying a new header for the combine harvester, and I'm trying not to do that until we've got a couple of harvests in and some money in the bank, because I want to upgrade the harvester to another one. So I don't want to be buying tools for it only to sell them again more or less straight away. So I think we will put canola in, because we'll get straw off the oat, which is what we need. I could put wheat in again. Wheat's got a decent price down at the restaurant, which is the nearest delivery point anyway. And that'll give me another straw. Yeah, let's go with wheat. Oh. Get a helper to put that in. Let's watch them do this first row or two. Make sure everything's working fine. By the time they've done that, it's going to be time for the end of the episode. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching, for being here, especially if you've stuck through to the end of the video. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up by clicking that like button. Subscribe to the channel, leave your comments and questions down below. Look forward to reading and answering those. And if you've got any advice that you think I should be following on this map, then please do give it. I was hoping to get contracts started today. It's taken a little bit longer than expected to get this field organized. So next episode will be all about contracts, and there are some big ones up for grabs as well, up on the other side of those cliffs. There's some huge fields up there that are all subject to contract at the moment, remembering that we're still playing on day 1 at the moment, although we're coming to the end of it, and any contracts we do would be overnight harvest contracts, which is very in keeping with the real world. So I'll see you in the next video. From me, as always, it's not goodbye, it's just bye for now. Take care, everybody.